and welcome back to Proline. Jim and I are going to look at the 2016 NFC North. The up-and-coming Vikings surprised Aaron Rodgers and the Packers last season, but it was Green Bay that won a playoff game while the Vikings, they just missed a last-second field goal against Seattle. Man, Blair Walsh with the wide one. We'll take a look at all four teams, but first, I want to tell you about some good stuff. First, I've got my special, which is 30 days for $30. All my value plays right through the All-Star break and beyond. And that's not just the baseball value plays. You're going to get Canadian football because we've got some of those too, and we're off to a great start there. $30 for 30 days. I don't see why anybody wouldn't take advantage of this if you just want to track me. If nothing else, it's perfect. 855-472-2577 is the phone number. That's 855-472-2577. Jim, the numbers are worth repeating. 98-61 in baseball. 12-4 with the big games, the games of the month. 31-8 with the baseball high rollers. I mean, that is just enormous.
It's been an incredible run, and you just work hard every day and hope for the best. Granted, there's a little bit of luck on the end of everything you do in life, but 22-8 Major League Baseball run the last 2 weeks, going 4-0 last night. My Thursday special is one you just don't want to miss. 7 days of plays from me for $49. That includes one of my high roller releases tonight. That's a $500 value right online. As a bonus, you get that play. 7 days, $49. Just call 866-546-9467. My clients who wager $100 a game, that's right, $100, they're up $3,900. If you wager $1,000 a game, that's $39,000. Let me show you that I can do this for you as well. 7 days of plays, that's right, multiple plays each and every day, $49. Just call 866-546-9467.
All right, let's talk NFC North. And it does look, it's July, or actually still June, and you're not supposed to write off anybody just yet, but I'm looking at the rosters for the Bears and the Lions, and I don't see how either one can be a winning team. So this looks like a two-team division, the Packers and the Vikings. They're both good football teams. We know the Packers are going to be in the mix. The Vikings are the team that really interests me, though, because I think they've got a real chance to move up this year.
I like the coaching. I like the fact they can run the football. The offensive line is pretty damn good. Their defense is excellent. The biggest question I have about this team, and I do like them to win this division, is Teddy.
Yeah.
Teddy just doesn't look like a champion quarterback out there, but he's young.
He's only played 2 years.
That's right. He's young. He could develop, and he has the skills. He needs more confidence. But they have good coaching, good running, good offensive line, good defense. They've got it all. They blew it last year on a real
chippy.
Guy's
going to make that field goal.
Unbelievable. But this is a good team. I think they repeat. They win it this year.
Well, I really like Laquan Treadwell. This is a guy he's a terrific receiver. And I think he's going to be one of those rookies who steps right in and makes an impact. So now Bridgewater's going to have, I think, a really dangerous target with good hands. And that could help him a lot. Peterson looks fine. I mean, he still averaged 4.5 yards per carry last year.
Amazing player.
He's just a phenomenal player. Yeah. I like the defense. And that's where I think the big separation is. It's between the Packers and the Vikings. I'll still take the Packers offense, especially with they're getting a healthy Jordy Nelson back. That's huge. Aaron Rodgers can still play. I know he's got other interests, but he's a great quarterback. Eddie Lacy appears to be in better shape than he was early last year.
He's lost a lot of weight.
Well, he's not Eddie Lacy at this point. Okay, he's back to Eddie Lacy. He actually played well at the end of last year. The question on the Packers, though, is are they going to be able to get their offense on the field, because the defense against the run was bad last year, and that's got to improve. You just can't be giving up chunks of yardage like they did on a regular basis last season. And they were fairly easy to move the ball against. So I'm looking at their roster, and I'm just not seeing where the defense is markedly better. They did pick up Kenny Clark, the nose tackle out of UCLA, but rookies on the defensive front. Just talked about a rookie wide receiver. Wide receivers, to me, can make an impact right away. I'm not sure that rookie defensive linemen quite the same thing. So there could be a learning curve there. The one thing they do have is an easy schedule. If you look at what Green Bay's playing outside the division. They get the Jaguars, the Giants, the Colts, Redskins, Tennessee. That's not too bad.
That's five relatively. I mean, any one of these teams could step up.
They ought to at least win 3 or 4 of those games.
Exactly. Now, we haven't talked at all about the Bears and the Lions. We can write them off. They were 6-10 last year. I like the Bears coaching staff to possibly turn things around, but they were so bad.
At home?
1-7. I mean, horrible.
How do you do that?
I don't know. I mean, it's just, it's horrible. So I agree with you, Dave. It is a 2-team race, unless there's injuries that pop up during the year, and of course we always have injuries. But the over and under line on the Packers is 11, and it's 9.5 on the Vikings. One of those is wrong. I think the Vikings are actually right now a little bit more solid.
On the other 2 teams, because we don't want to dismiss them without reasons, but there are reasons. First of all, Forte is gone from the Bears. Granted, he wasn't quite the player he was in his prime, but he was still pretty good, and they really don't have a lot to replace him. Jeremy Langford looks like the prime running back right now. He averaged 3.5 yards per carry last year. That's not real good. And Cutler isn't the type of guy who wins games. It's worse for Detroit. I think Detroit's going to be the last place team in this division. Calvin Johnson retiring is huge. Okay, he may again. The numbers
who came
weren't
out
as
and
good,
said they're not going to miss him?
Oh, that's
said
ridiculous.
That? Who said that?
Did somebody say that?
Yes.
That's absurd.
A football mind said that.
It
That's crazy.
reduces the effectiveness of everybody else in the team.
Of course it
because
does.
he was still a tremendous threat. And by the way, he had 1,214 yards last year. That's still pretty good.
Even in an off year.
I mean, yeah, boy, that ancient Calvin Johnson, only 1,200 yards receiving last year. Stafford has never, at this point, I think Stafford he's just a guy. That's all he is. He's not the worst guy out there.
He never lived up to the expectations, but it's a lot of times these guys come into the league and you just don't know how well they're going to do, and it comes down to coaching. What kind of team do they put up there? What kind of game plan? They have had enough turnover with this squad here, the Lions, that a lot of the blame could go to the former coaching staff.
I think that's true.
Yeah, but
here's the thing. One of the rules that I have in doing over and unders prior to the season is if I can find a team that has a really good chance to be the worst rushing team in the league, that team will probably be an under team. The total on the Lions is 7. Last year they were dead last in the NFL running the football, 83 yards a game. That stinks. I don't see where it's any better. So they're going to be among the worst running teams again this year. And I'm going to play them under the 7. That's the only play I'm making in this division because I think the Vikings-Packers is tough, and I'm not sure which. It's a toss-up. Maybe you can go for the value there in terms of the number being lower on the Vikings. I would agree with that. And I think there's a good chance they get to 10. But the play I actually like the most is under 7 on the Lions. I think they're a 4 or 5 win team.
That makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I don't know what to do with the Bears, but I think they come in 3rd.
Yeah, I think the Bears could be a 6 or 7 win team.
Yeah.
Not good.
I don't think
but,
there's
but
value.
Not horrible.
I don't think there's any value in that win total, but I do agree with you with the Lions under.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got free plays every day. Did you know that? You go right to your they get right to your cell phone. It's so easy. Anybody can. It takes 10 seconds, and you're going to get the plays every day.
Absolutely. Just text GAME, GAME, to 25827. You'll get free plays each and every day right to your cell phone. That's GAME to 25827.
All right. Stay tuned. Our look at the 2016 NFC South is coming up. Can anybody top the defending NFC champion Panthers? Well, we'll talk about that next on ProLineTV.com.